we have our CPU power connector. Obviously down here you can see our cables routed from our AIO. Then we have our RAM, we have our main power connector right there. Hey everyone, Digital David here. Today in this video, I'm going to be checking out the Gigabyte Aorus B550I Pro AX gaming motherboard. I did purchase this product myself, and any opinion expressed in this video is strictly my own. That being said, if you're interested in this product, you want to find out more about it, the link to it will be in the video description. You can see the retail box and packaging right here walking us through some of the key features. So you may have noticed this is for your AMD Ryzen processors. It supports socket AM4, and this board in particular with its small and compact size still features some great options for us. PCIe 4.0, Wi-Fi 6, 2.5 gig LAN. It has everything you need to take your gaming to the next level. Now let's go ahead, let's open it up and look at the contents. Here are all the contents. First up, you can see we have our driver disk, followed by our user's manual right here. So check it out, it walks us through hardware installation and BIOS setup. Everything we need to know about our motherboard with helpful charts and diagrams and screen captures, walking us through all the settings and features. Next, you can see we have our Wi-Fi antenna right here, followed by our M.2 screws for our SSDs. And then you can see we have our Aorus badge, which is cool, so peel and stick on your PC case if you want. We have two SATA cables right here. Then we have one power extension right here for our fans. And then we have one RGB extension right here for our lights. And lastly, we have the board itself. Let's go ahead, let's look at that in more detail. So here's the board up close, check it out. Everything looks great. Front and center, we have our AM4 socket. You can see our Aorus logo and branding on our nice heat sinks. They look really cool. Two DIMM slots, one PCIe 4.0 expansion slot. And then you can see on this side, all of our I/O right here. So we have our audio followed by our Wi-Fi 6, 2.5 gig LAN, USB 3.0, we have USB Type-C, BIOS flashback you can see right there, some additional USB 3.0 ports, and we have two HDMI and a DisplayPort right there if we're going to use integrated graphics. And then you can see it from the back side as well too. Check that out. Everything looks really nice. And we have an additional M.2 slot down here as well for expansion. All right, now you can see we got the motherboard installed in our PC right here. Everything is working great. Let's go ahead. Let's look at it in more detail. All right, we're going into the build right now. So in this corner might be hard to see, but we have our CPU power connector. Obviously down here you can see our cables routed from our AIO. Then we have our RAM, we have our main power connector right there. Underneath that, we have our USB 3.0. That's going to be hard to see. Maybe you can see it right there. Then we have our fan connector all split out for all the fans that you see for this build. Moving along, down here you can see left corner, we have our HD audio. And then right here, in case you're wondering, so if you can see it, right at the tip of my fingernail, we have our little 2-pin connector there. If we ever need to short the BIOS settings and reset anything, you can do that right there. There is a BIOS battery. It's going to be under here. So you'd have to remove the board and take off this cover to get access to the battery as needed. But you can see it right here. Very small, compact, but still plenty of room for a lot of great connection options. If you are wondering, there is no USB Type-C connector on here. If you have a front panel in your case that has USB Type-C, this board does not have that. And you can see the board from the back side right here. Don't forget we have easy access to our M.2 drive. If you want to upgrade or add a drive to that in the future, you can do that very easily. Now we're taking a look at the BIOS settings so you can see for our Aorus board what we're working with. Currently we're in easy mode right here. Check it out. So they walk you through some key information right at the top for you so you can monitor your system at a glance right here. You can see our RAM that's installed. We can turn XMP on or off right there just with the click of our mouse. We have our boot sequence here. You can see our fan speed settings, our different options here for our connections, our M.2, our PCIe, which is going to be our GPU, and if we had any additional like 2.5 inch or 3.5 inch hard drives available. Check it out. We have additional options here. You can view the language, change that, help settings. We can go into advanced mode. I'm not going to go into each individual item here, but we'll just toggle through the different tabs. So you can see we have our favorite section right here, our tweaker, and look at all the options we have to tweak if you're into that. Then we have our settings option as well, so you can learn more about your system. Same with system info. walking you through a lot of device info for you. Then our boot sequence right here. And then we have our save and exit settings. And then down here, you may notice we have Q Flash, Smart Fan. We can go back to easy mode and help again. So very nice and easy to navigate BIOS. Now let's go into some more software when we actually get into Windows. Now you can see we're looking at the Gigabyte Aorus App Center on our PC. This is a great place to go after you initially get your PC set up to get all the drivers and everything else that you'll need. You can also update the BIOS. You can add additional software if you want from Gigabyte. So you can see we added their RGB Fusion. But check it out. We'll just click through some of these settings right here. So we'll go ahead. You can see this is going to be first up. We have our new utilities, and we could choose to install those. And we have some third-party software. So right now, I don't need to install anything else, which is great. We can go look for our updates. We have some additional settings. So let's go ahead. Let's choose this, and you can see the apps from Gigabyte that we have downloaded already. And that's the RGB Fusion 2 for our lights, which is great. We can control a lot of what we need to right from within there. You can also view your Windows settings, very easy if you want. And then if we have some third-party software, that's where we'll be able to access those settings as well. So that's a quick look at the App Center. Very helpful to get any sort of drivers, BIOS updates, and anything else for your board. Next up, you can see we're looking at our RGB Fusion app right here. So two of our RGB devices showed up. The first one, obviously, as you'd expect, our Gigabyte motherboard. The second one, you can see our Corsair RAM and memory we're able to control directly from within this app as well. Our Cooler Master AIO didn't show up. We will have to control that via their own software, the Master Plus software that's plugged directly into our PC. That could be different if you wanted to connect it directly to the motherboard and not do the USB option. You may get lucky and be able to have it here. If not, you'll just have to have another piece of software to control all of your lights. But check it out. You can see for our particular board, look at this. We can control the individual lights on it if we want. So let's select one. And then you can see the options we have. We can choose a different effect if we want, and tons of different color options. We can enter a value if we want. We can adjust the speed and the brightness, and we can even add profiles too. Then you can see for our Corsair RAM, check it out, same thing. We have a couple different effects, and we can change the same sort of color settings over here. So now let me share with you my final thoughts in regards to this Gigabyte B550i Pro AX gaming motherboard. First thing I want to point out is this was my first experience with the Gigabyte board, and it definitely didn't disappoint. I'm very happy with this particular board overall. For its small and compact size, it is very feature rich. What do I mean by that? We get PCIe 4.0, 2 M.2 slots, Wi-Fi 6, it's great that they include Wi-Fi, and we get 2.5 gig LAN, so they didn't even skimp on giving us a gigabit connection. Now, one might argue you want 10 gig, that would be great if they would put that on in the future, but I think for most people, gaming 2.5 gig is gonna be great. Now, with all that being said, is there anything I'd want to see improved in the future? The biggest thing I can think that I'd like to see added to this board in the future is having a USB Type-C header. Depending on the case that you're using in your front panel connections, you might need to have that, and this board does not have that available for you. Other than that, for me, it would probably just be Gigabyte continuing to refine their software and their help and support sections online. I just didn't find the most relevant information when I was searching certain things about this board readily available. There was a lot of kind of sleuthing through, you know, Reddit and other chats and things like that. So overall, the board itself works great. I've had a fantastic experience, and it's definitely feature rich for its small size. In the future, though, I'd love to see maybe just some better support and documentation online for the board and giving us USB Type-C for a header connection. That would be amazing. Well, that concludes our video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget the product link will be in our video description below. Please go ahead, check it out, and do your shopping from there. Any purchase made through that link helps support our channel at no additional cost to you. So we're really grateful and thankful for all of your support. While you're at it, can you go ahead and hit that like button for us? And subscribe to our channel. We have new content coming out daily, and we don't want you to miss anything. Please go ahead and give us a follow online and make it a clean sweep. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, TikTok, Discord. You can message us on WeChat, check out our website, and join our free newsletter. Thank you guys so much for being here. Don't forget, new content daily, and we can't wait to see you in our next video.